All right, what's up, guys? Chocosir here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 206, and for this week, we have a Mana Tree Revival Seed for this week. All right, so it is Wednesday as I am recording this seed. I know it's a little bit late for me when I do these. I try to do these on, Saturday or Sunday, but I had other things to do, so we're gonna do it today. Um, as usual, this video is going to be going up on Friday, so when you guys see this video, it'll be Friday or whatever day it is for you when you see this. But that's the way I'm going to be doing things now with these videos, is putting them up on Friday. So yeah, we have 10 flags for this weekly seed. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Starting off, we have ourselves a sprite start. We have restrictive logic as always. We have randomized boss elements. You all know how these work by now. Randomized boss elements, they have randomized elemental affinities to them. They will be casting spells of their randomized elements, so we don't know what to expect from what boss. Some of them could roll non-elemental, which means they can cast a variety of spells from a variety of elements. We have starter gear enabled, which is a pretty nice flag because this basically means our sprite is going to be starting off with not only the midrobe, he will also be starting off with the rabbite cap and the elbow pad, which basically gives him, 14 defense starting out instead of 7. So basically this means we aren't pressed to buy armor right away. We can sit on the starter gear for a little bit. For a couple of levels. So it basically gives us more leeway to do things without taking damage. Other characters don't exist. It is what it says. There is no boy, there is no girl in the seed. So this is basically going to be a solo sprite run from start to finish. We also have allow locked items. Basically, this means that some of the items in the game will not be available to us. Could be elementals, could be mana seeds, could be weapons, could be miscellaneous items like the Midge Mallet, the Moogle Belt, Sea Hair Tail, stuff like that. We already know the other two characters don't exist, so we can count them out. So basically, we might not have access to all 8 mana seeds, and we might not have access to all of the elementals. Have random enemy spawns. It is what it says. We can see any enemy in any area. We have enemy type status ailments. We have enemy stat growth increased after bosses. Again, self-explanatory. We kill a boss, enemies spike up in levels. And we need 5 seeds to complete the run. So yeah, solo sprite run, randomized boss elements, locked items. Should be pretty interesting, depending on how everything's laid out. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Since we are starting with the sprite, we can do the waterfall skip. Should be good. Yep. All right, glove start. All right, glove has int and stone. Okay, so we already have an int weapon. And here's hoping we find some elementals along the way. In our freebies, we're going to do freebies into something. Depends on what our hints are too. But we are going to focus on freebies right now. We are sprite, so our damage is pretty bad right now. All right, Jav Orb. All right, Sea Hair's Tail in Northtown. Okay. Now, we aren't pressed to buy an armor immediately. I just want to see what's in the shops. Ooh, okay, Circus there. That's nice. Assuming we can get 2,300 gold, which I don't know. But we know that's there. Circuit is +5 to intelligence, by the way, which is really nice for the sprite. All right, Dark Seed on a ped. Okay, good to know. All right, Mech 3 is nothing, so that means we don't need to go in Grand Palace for anything, unless there's a seed in that chest there, which who knows. All right, Sylphid in the town. We got to kill this guy, unfortunately. All right, Whip is early. That's also nice to know because we might be needing that. POTUS area for the fire seed. Ooh. You know, I could have checked Undini's cave right then and there. I probably should have actually, but I'd be gambling though, because it might not be there. All right, Salamander Lake and Earth Seed in the treasure room. Okay, so we know where 2 seeds are. We know where 3 seeds are actually. Dark Seed's on a Mana Seed ped. Earth Seeds most likely in the Pandora Treasury. And the Fire Seed is in the POTUS area, which is good information. Please move, little girl, please. But yeah, I probably should have just gone for that Undini's cave check though. Yeah, fancy overall, silver band, golden ring is there. Good to know. I'm actually looking for Ivy Amulet or Power Wrist here. Okay, Luna's on a ped, unfortunate. Means we need a Mana Seed to get to her. Right now we're just checking shops just for the information. Okay, chest guard's there. Okay. All right, so chest guard at Pandora, circlet at POTUS, golden ring, silver band, and Kaipo. Okay. All right, 1,600 gold and a boom orb. All right, nice. So we do have enough money for the chest guard at the very least. But we're not going to get it just yet. I'm going to make my rounds first before I do that. All right, Matango. I might just go Matango in the Empire here, actually. All right, 1,200 bucks. So that puts us at 2,800. Right now, I'm checking for Power Wrist or Ivy Amulet here. Okay, Coon Cap. Yeah, I can buy that right now, but like I said earlier, we're not really in any hurry to get armor right now. All right, Mary, what you got? Ooh, Moonseed, okay. Seed's nice. Moonseed is nice. All right, Mara, you actually have something useful. For a change. Usually that woman has nothing. Okay, there's Power Wrist. Gold Vest is here too. Yeah, I'm gonna take this for now because we need as much damage as we can right now. So we're gonna go ahead and slap that on for the +5 to strength, which we desperately need right now because we don't have any elementals. Alright, Northtown, we check the castle, we check ruins. Pretty standard early game here. Alright, needed Sylphid, we do not care. We don't care about Grand Palace this run. Oh wow, this is here. Yeah, I had to. So the reason why I bought the Ivy Amulet there is because we are going to be solo for the entire run. And not only is it randomized boss elements, it's also randomized enemies. And we can encounter like trap flowers, mimic boxes at any point. And they can put us to sleep. As a matter of fact, we are going to equip this right now just in case we run into any of those guys. And we don't want to be sleeping on the job here. Alright, Glove Orb and Sword Orb. Yeah, so Ivy Amulet is actually a very strong piece of equipment when you're solo. I mean, it's good in parties too, yeah, but it's especially good when you're solo and you're running something like a flag set such as this, randomized boss elements and randomized enemy spawns. It's super good because you never know when you're going to run into trap flowers and they will put you to sleep as soon as they see you. And getting put to sleep is it just eats up your time. Alright, let's see what's in ruins. Alright, there's that. We can turn that in once we get over to that area. I think after Empire we hit up Ice Country and then we go Lighthouse. Probably Lighthouse into Tasnica, maybe. Okay, there's the Midge Mallet. And getting the miscellaneous items in this place. Sea Hair Tail and the Midge Mallet are here. Check the back chest. Here's hoping that we find some kind of offensive elemental soon, because we do have a seed. And we know that Luna is on a ped, unfortunately. And we got all the imps in this room. Imps and gremlins. While I could go for Doom's Wall and the Dialogue Can, it's not really worth it because we don't have the damage right now. Yeah, 1200 gold is nice. We take that. All right, let's see. We go to Santa's house. We go to Ice Palace. Then after Ice Palace, we're gonna go Lighthouse. All right, nothing there. Axle up there. Actually, what I might do after Lighthouse is go to Kakara. I might just do that. Probably go Kakara, Turtle Isle, Tasnica instead of Lighthouse, Tasnica here. Might just do that. Because we can turn into Sea Hairtail. So maybe there's something there. Ooh, all right, 2,000 bucks. So we should have enough for that circlet now. And after my freebies run, I'm pretty sure we're going to go full clear early game, or clear as much of early game as we can. Anyway, and we're just getting all the money today. I'm not complaining. Yeah, let's go to Kakara. So I need to go south here. Southwest. Check out the Moon Palace orb while we're here, since we do have the seed. We don't have any elementals though. Don't need to check the shops right now. Okay, 400 gold's nice. We take that. And we're probably gonna force the glove here. I know it's an end weapon, but we can't really make use of that right now. So we might as well forge it. Alright, says this is Lunar Agility. Yeah, we can check Moon Palace. I don't see why not. Just to see what we need here. I mean, information is always good. Not to mention, we do have the seed. Alright, Moon Palace needs Undini. Okay, good to know. Undini required for the Moon Palace. We do have the seed, so we can turn that in once we find Undini, if we find Undini. We're not gonna go Fire Palace. I could, but I'm not going to. Let's go Total Isle here. Alright, Jab Orb. Yeah, Fire Palace would be a better play if I had, if I had any elementals, but I don't, fortunately. I think I'm good on checking armor shops now because we know where the circlet is, we know where chest guard is, and we have IV amulet already. And once we get those, our sprite should be set for quite a long time. We don't have to upgrade until like level 16 plus or something. Maybe higher than that. Unfortunate. Okay, Salamander needed for Grand Palace. We do not care. All right, let's hit up Mandala and then we go back to Pandora. Another thing about IV Amulet is that it also protects you against poison, so that's why we didn't get poisoned from the trap right there. But yeah, it protects you against both poison and unconsciousness, which is why it's such a good piece of gear. All right, let's see what we can learn here. All right, boomerangs early. All right, nothing there. Nothing there. Moonseed we already have. Nothing there. Moogle belt in the town. And nothing. Okay, so we didn't learn too much there, which is quite unfortunate. I mean, sometimes the hints can be just duds, or they could be, you know, things that you already have. All right, so let's see. Early game it is. First stop is going to be Pandora. I'm most likely going to be popping a couple of enemies to get this glove to level 2. Gonna go save first though. Oh wait, let me buy the chest guard then save. Got that chest guard sitting here. And grab some of these as well, and some of these as well, just in case, just to have them. I know we saw Golden Vest earlier, but Golden Vest is like 2250, and it's only six defense better than the chest guard. So I would rather have the chest guard. I mean, chest guard is pretty cost efficient anyway. 1,000 gold for 28 defense is really nice. Of course. One. We want to get this glove to level 2. There we go. That's all we wanted. To get the gloves to level 2. Because the glove is our only source of damage right now, since we didn't find any elementals, unfortunately. We're getting bursted. Before we trigger that, we're gonna slap on our power wrist here. Because I doubt we'll need this ivory amulet for this boss anyway. Unless it's Dryad element, which I hope it's not. No, okay. Alright, 34 damage, not bad. There we go. Nice, clean giveaway fight there. Okay, so let's see. Fire Seed in the Protos area. So my next stop is most likely Mantis Ant. Earth Seed in a treasure room, so could be in the treasury in Pandora here. There's the whip, by the way. Okay. Intelligence and ice. Alright, so we do have an int weapon. We are not going to check the other shop because we don't need to. We already have everything we need. As far as armor, we should be good for quite a long time. Well, we will be once we get that circlet. And since I'm going to Potos next anyway, we're going to grab that. And then check out Mantis Ant. Alright, girl has a Spirit Orb today. Alright, what do we got? Glove Orb. Another Glove Orb. Whip Orb. Okay, there's Sylphid. There's the Earth Seed. And a Jav Orb. Okay, cool. So we got 2 seeds now. We also have Sylphid. So my next play is to grind Sylphid to level 2 real quick. Get the circlet, save in Potos, and then we check Mantis Ant. Yeah, let's get this circuit first, though. Because we do have the money for it. Go. And the circlet, for those who don't know, also gives +5 to intelligence. Alright, so what we're going to do here, we are going to do this. I'm going to walk out here. And we're going to spam silence. I need one more. There we go. Alright, so Sylphid is now level 2. Drop a save. Go ahead and swap to our whip here since it offers intelligence. And we're going to go ahead and check the spot. Vampire. Okay. Hmm. 110 might be a low roll, actually. Yeah. You did. Yep. Nice. Yeah, that's why we get Sylphid up to level 2, by the way. So we can kill bosses faster. Because otherwise, it would be doing much less damage at level 0. Since we don't have walnuts right now. The gold key. I mean, we can keep that, I guess. Yeah, we keep that gold key. I don't see why not. Alright, anywho, we are going to check Undini's cave. Worst case scenario, the fire seed is sitting behind the water seed. That's the worst case scenario. So we're going to check Undini's cave right now. Also, keep in mind, we do need a cutting weapon eventually, so we will have to find either the sword or the axe at some point. And one of those has to be in the seed. Biggest. Do this first. There we go. Dead. All right. That's so far. We can also check that chest, that first chest in Light Palace too, since we have the key. Good. But I would rather check early game though. Alright, Java Orb, level 5. Actually, I think we're level 6. Gnome and ooh, okay, there's our fire seed. Gnome is there, which is actually nice. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do here. Go ahead and work on this now. My next stop is most likely Dwarf Village. Yeah, Dwarf Village, because we haven't been there yet. And there's some freebies there we can get. Go ahead and work on that. Get on out of here. Interesting. Very interesting. 3 seeds, no cutting weapon. Yeah, there's that. We don't care about the boomerang. What I am gonna do is check these. There's that. Ooh. I'm out of MP though. Yeah. Okay, so gnomes required for Earth Palace, which is interesting because Earth Palace is now in logic. Okay, Axe Orb. We're gonna go ahead and rope on out of here. Okay, let me save and get my MP back. We're just gonna save split these 2 bosses, honestly. So what I might do here is just fully clear Guy's Navel. The whole thing. Okay. $96. We gotta take a little bit of damage here, unfortunately. We did. Yeah. Whew. Thank goodness. I'm going to have to invest in some walnuts pretty soon here. Because we know that Luna is on a ped. That's one reason why I want to check Earth Palace, actually. Because Luna could be there. Alright, Spear Orb, Glove Orb, the Javelin. No thanks. We don't care about that. Alright, so nothing there that's important anyway. Check Kilroy. Snake. Alright, it's Big Brother too. Oh my gosh, that's why I hate Luna bosses. I'm resetting none of that. Oh, that's unfortunate. You know what? I'm just gonna go to Earth Palace through that spot because when Luna Magic procs that, it just undoes everything that you did, and it's so annoying. But I'm going to Earth Palace. That is one of the main reasons why Luna element bosses are so annoying, because they can fully heal themselves. And there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, so here's hoping that Luna is on the Earthseed pedestal, because right now I could definitely use Luna here. And we know she's on a ped. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that spot because, I mean, it might do it again for all we know. And then I have to reset out again, so I'm not going to bother. So we're just going to hit at this spot instead. Good moon element too. Interesting. Actually want to do this. Oh, never mind. God, Mantis Sand actually has like 0 magic defense. Not literally 0, but it's low. Compared to other bosses, his magic defense is like super low. It's low to the point where level 0 spells will actually do decent damage to him. Alright, Boom Orb. Please be Luna. Ooh. Ooh, that's even better actually. Okay. Dark Seed and the Axe? Yeah. Alright, 4 seeds. Do I even check the magic rope chest? I mean, I can. I might as well. What's my play here? Okay, so the axe gives us access to Witch's Castle. Yeah, I probably should have just skipped that. We can also see what's on Gold Isle. Yeah, we can check, I guess. We do have the key. Check it. Yeah, let's check this. Before I do that, let me go get some walnuts, because I'm going to need some. Should save. That's alright. It's a free check though. There's no point saving on a free check, honestly. I mean, it's just not. Ooh. Oh man, that's okay. Oh my god, that sucks because that's our 5th seed. That's actually really annoying. Let's go to Pure Land. That's okay. I mean, for all we know, Luna could be behind the Light Seed pedestal. I don't know. That is unfortunate we found that right there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing we found that there, but it's also annoying that we found that there too. Oh my gosh. Alright, who is this? Oh, you again? Okay. Air Blast here. It. Wow. All right, so we should be looking at like a sub 45. Should definitely be sub 45. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that. We found that light seed right there. Boom orb, $1,800. Okay. We have to keep track of our MP because if we don't, then we're going to be in a little sticky situation. A light element. I mean, Witch's Castle after Dwarf Village. I don't think would have been a bad play, honestly, because the game gives you the axe right there. Level up 1,000 gold. Yeah, the game gives you the axe right there, so I don't know. Because what I was planning on doing was checking that first chest and gold aisle and then going back to early game. That was my plan. Hydra. Yeah. Dead. Ain't dead either. We're not gonna water here. We're just gonna get off this weapon first of all. 18, 17. Do I have to water here? Hope not. Is this high damage range? That could be a high damage range axe we're using here. Yeah, I didn't want a walnut there. I know we have 3, but it would have been a waste of a walnut, honestly. All right, level 10. Nah. All right, so we have a level 4 Sylphid so far. Level 3 Gnome. Oh, wait. Swap the Gnome here. Get some XP on this. Okay, I don't think we leveled up there. We might be really close to a level up here, but I think we just pop a walnut instead. Oh, never mind, we did level. Okay. I didn't hear the level up sound. All right, Java Orb, Boom Orb. Okay. Should get sub 45. I hope he gets sub 45. I'm interested to see what the times are from the other runners on this seed, honestly. He should be dead, right? Yep. Yeah, that finding that light seed was kind of wild right there. Because if you think about it, we could have gone there like right after Mantis Ant, found that light seed, and most likely I would have continued to turn that in. Ooh. Sword in Pure Land. Ugh. That's pretty ugly, actually, because that means the axe was required. Yeah, you are most definitely Earth Element, so we're gonna go ahead and use this. Whew. Extend. You did? Yep. Yeah, so that Earth Palace was required. Which meant Pandora Treasury was also required because it had the Earth Seed in it. We also found Gnome in Undini's cave, so that was required as well. We don't care about your sleep, buddy. So pretty much every check, almost every check in early game was required. Pandora was required. Undini's cave was required. Earth Palace was required. Huh. All right, so we are getting 4430 something. Right? All right, 4431 is our time. Yeah, this one pretty straightforward seed, honestly. I mean, do your freebies. Not much came out of freebies aside from the moon seed. We got a bunch of money though, which sets you up defensive wise for pretty much the rest of the run, honestly. I mean, that's if you decide to buy the items that I did. But I think what it comes down to is how you route out early game. Because I mean, let's face it. We had two hints for seeds that were in early game. We had a hint for the fire seed being early. We had a hint for the what was it? Fire seed and what was it? The earth seed. So both of those were pointing towards early game areas. So that tells you, okay, maybe I should try and full clear or do as much of early game as I can, because we know that there are two seeds there. You also get a hint at Mandala saying that the moon seed is in a town. We found the moon seed before that hint, but the moon seed was free at Mera. So most likely folks did an early game, or not early game, but a freebies run, which is what most runners do anyway. They get freebies and then they'll find that moon seed for sure. And then if they look at the hints, they'll see the fire seed being in the Potos, and then the earth seed being in the treasury. So that says, okay, let me focus on early game areas. Let's do Pandora. We find the earth seed in the treasury. Finding the whip there was a bonus. And the whip ended up being required too, because that Earth Palace was hard required. And then I imagine you go for the fire seed next, so you check Mantis Ant, it wasn't there. Gold Key was there though. Gold Key led to the light seed. I'm really interested. I really want to know what was in that gold tower, because we know Luna was behind his head, but it didn't really matter that much. But finding the fire seed at Undini's cave along with Gnome, which was required for Earth Palace as well. Now, depending on if the runner checks Dwarf Village before going to Undini's cave, including Dwarf Village checks among the freebies route, they will see that that Gnome is required for the Earth Palace, and that really should incentivize them to go straight there once they do Pandora. That is, they get the whip. Once they have the Earth Seed, all the pieces fall into place. So why not just check Earth Palace? There's really no reason not to. So we did that. So Pandora into Mantis Ant into Dwarf Village checks. We didn't find anything on Tropicalo. We didn't complete Kilroy because, you know, Lunar bosses are annoying. And thank goodness I noped out of that, because I didn't want to mess with that. Yeah, we could have killed him, but there's always that chance that the boss will cast Lunar Magic and fully heal himself, so it's pretty much a waste of time. And then going Earth Palace after finding Gnome, after finding the whip, you will find both the axe and another seed, the dark seed, which will make 4. And then it comes down to where you find that 5th seed. It's hard to gauge, because we don't know where the other seeds are. We really don't know if that light seed was the 5th and final seed. We don't know if the water seed or the dryad seed or the wind seed were even in the seed. We don't know. So now after Earth Palace, I was planning on going to check what was on Gold Isle, because it was a free check. And then I was gonna go figure out Witch's Castle and see what was there. But we ended up finding that light seed, which was both good and annoying at the same time. Good because it's our 5th seed, obviously. And we have a cutting weapon, which means you go straight to Pale Land to finish the run. Annoying because, well, it could have been, like I said earlier, it could have been the 5th and final seed, because allow locked items is a thing. So we don't know if those other seeds or those other mana seeds were in the seed or not. We don't know. So I don't know. I mean, there's a world where someone runs around the world and not finding anything because of that. So it's hard to tell without like looking at a spoiler log, and spoiler logs don't get generated anymore, so we really can't tell unless you like do other checks. So it's kind of hard to figure that out. But anywho, other than that, not that bad of a seed. Early game pre-Sylphid is, I'm not gonna say it's kind of slow. You do have access to a glove orb, so I imagine you forge that and then kill whatever's at Pandora Ruins. I mean, the other runners do the checks their way, but me personally, I usually go Pandora Ruins first because there's 7 checks there, and we have the means to do it. We have the damage, not really, but we have enough damage to kill the boss, so there is that. We definitely have the defense. Our defense armor was a non-factor this run. It didn't matter. You're given plenty of money by doing the free checks. We ended up with what, 6k gold, nearly 6k gold. So that's enough for And that's enough to set your sprite up for pretty much the rest of the seed. If you buy Circlet, Chest Guard, we didn't find Tiger Caps, so we did find Raccoon Caps though. Ivy Amulet, we saw Golden Ring, we saw Silver Band, we saw Power Wrist. So there's plenty of stuff for your sprite. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's really hard to tell how to route this seed because we don't know if those other 3 seeds were in the seed at all. We just don't know. All right, anyway, 44:31 is our time. We're gonna go ahead and put that in right now because we are kind of late running the seed. Not really, but well, it's late for me because I usually run these seeds on Fridays, Saturdays, Saturdays and Sundays mainly, sometimes Friday. For 44. $31. All right, let's see where we are here. Interesting. Very interesting. So it looks like times are ranging between 56 minutes and 1 hour and 44. Wow. So it looks like from what I'm reading here that a lot of folks were trying, it took a while to find a cutting weapon, which is understandable because, I mean, see, my thing is, you're given hints. You're given you're given hints for both the Earth Seed and the Fire Seed. So, and you're also given the Whip and the Earth Seed. So, I don't see why someone would not check Earth Palace because you're given the Whip at Pandora Ruins. You're given the Earth Seed in the Treasury. And you're given Gnome along with the Fire Seed at Undini's Cave. All the pieces are in place. So if you're going to full clear early game, you might as well include Earth Palace because I don't see why not. You know, I just don't see it. Like, and the axe, yeah, it was in a root spot, but it was required because the sword obviously was inaccessible without the axe. So the axe was the only cutting weapon there was available. Almost last okay, the axe only had no Town Ruins bosses left. I didn't have any spells. I played guys named Pandora Castle. So I had to dodge a temple the whole time. Found some other seeds, had 5 seeds. Hmm. Yeah, this Didn't want to check Witch's Castle when I only needed one more seed after Pure Lands was done. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I can't really say. This was super painful. Hmm. Yeah, it it all comes down to the decision making here because Witch's Castle, honestly, look, this is this is my thing. Once you clear Pandora Ruins, once you clear, Mantis Ant, well, Mantis Ant you don't have to do, or we don't know that because, like I said earlier, we don't know if the other Mana Seeds were in the seed, which I'm assuming that they were, since I think one of the runners here mentioned that they got like 5 seeds before going to Earth Palace or something like that. So there could have been another seed somewhere. I'm almost tempted to like run through the seed just to see because um it's kind of hard to tell honestly. But going Witch's Castle after doing Pandora Ruins, Mantis Ant, Guy's Navel, Undini's Cave, and you have the tools to do it. Yeah, it can be a hard decision, but my thing is, if you're gonna commit to something, just commit to it. You know, I don't see why one would just leave that behind. I know Witch's Castle is kind of a lengthy check. Not really. I mean, if you're coming in from Water Palace side, it's not that bad. But if you're coming from the Dwarf Village side, then it's a couple of more screens. I don't know. I really can't say without knowing if knowing where the other seats were, because I believe, from what I'm seeing here, I believe that some runners found other seeds in other places. Let me see. It could be faster, but okay. Spend a lot of time with killing enemies before doing the first boss. Felt like slow level up, but yeah, early for hints for seeds. Wasted time with 2 tries and Dwarf City Snake. Yeah, the snake got them too. See, that's that's the thing with me. If I see a boss do some crazy mess like lunar magic after I've done like a ton of damage to him and he still ain't dead, and then he ends up fully healing himself, I'm just resetting because I don't have any walnuts. I don't have Luna, so I'm not gonna spend 5 more minutes whacking at a boss that can potentially heal itself to full. There's no reason to stay. Just nope out, and that's what they did. They noped out. They noped out after 2 tries. I wouldn't. I noped out after the first attempt, but that's just me. Uh, didn't check Light Tower before Pure Lands. That's what we did. We checked Light Tower. Hope that there is at least one seed. There is. I went after Mana Tree there and could go back immediately. Interesting. Would have been a sub 45 if I hadn't thrown it all the way after Holden. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, but this one's a little bit difficult to route, honestly, because we don't know where the other seeds are. And I'm almost tempted to just play through other areas. You know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reset. This is gonna be a little bit of a bonus. Let's see. We're going to auto save. I can't do that. Okay, I have to actually load up a save file here. All right, so let's see something. Let's see something. All right, so we know the Dark Seed was at Earth Palace along with the axe, right? And we found that Light Seed at the Gold Tower, or Light Palace rather. Same thing. I just want to see out of curiosity what else was in there, because the light seed being in the light palace is actually pretty interesting. I want to see what's in here, honestly. But yeah, the end of the seed's over with. Or the seed's over with, so I just want to see what else was in here. Of course, I gotta kill these two bosses in here. Yeah, there's that. We're not worried about these guys. Now, keep in mind, we know the Dark Seed was at the Earth Palace. We know that much. So we're just gonna go through here real quick. I don't have my walnuts either. I don't think. Nope. It may take a little bit. And we don't have any dark weapons, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, these Gigases are so annoying. Let's just do this. Okay, we got him. Because I'm thinking, if I had come here earlier, like, when we got the gold key, right? There was a world where I could have come straight here. I mean, of course, we wouldn't have known it at the time, but there's a world where we come straight here. We would have found the light seed. Okay, there's that. Ooh. Okay. Melt this guy real quick. I think Thunderbolt should do it here. Yep. I should also check what was in Witch's Castle too. I should. Okay, what was here? Boom orb. Oh, wow. Okay, so the wind seed was here. So there were 2 seeds in Light Palace. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Moon seed, earth seed, fire seed. That's 3. You get fire seed, earth seed from early game. Light seed and the wind seed was sitting at gold tower. So there's 5 seeds right there. The only issue with that, I think the only issue with doing that is it veers you away from the axe though. Because you have to do Earth Palace. There's no way around it. There's no way around Earth Palace here. It has to be done because the axe is here. And we know the Dark Sea is here too. Yeah, so I think that's what some runners did, is they may have went to Gold Tower and found those 2 seeds there, but they didn't have the axe. And they were looking around for the axe and avoiding Earth Palace. Yeah, I can definitely see that now, because like I said earlier, going to Gold Tower, while yeah, it has 2 seeds, it veers you away from the axe. And then that'll incentivize, well, I can't say it will, but it may incentivize runners to go to other places and fade Earth Palace, which I don't blame them for fading Earth Palace, but unfortunately it was required this run. Please don't set me on fire. Please don't set me on fire. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think in any other situation that would be a fantastic play. In any other situation. But unfortunately, due to where the axe is, it's not that fantastic of a play. It really isn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, finding 2 seeds in one dungeon is always nice, but when it veers you away from where you need to be, then it'll possibly incentivize you to check other places. Not to mention, we didn't get a hint for the axe either, so there is that. Okay, so there's those. I actually want to check Witch's Castle here. Because if I would have gone... Let me get some walnuts first. If I would have gone Dwarf Village, Pandora, Undini's Cave. I'm sorry, Pandora, Mantis Ant, Undini's Cave. Dwarf Village into Witch's Castle. Okay, let me just lock up on these real quick. Because now I want to see if Witch's Castle is worth going to. I also want to see if my play was correct. And going to Light Palace. Let's go over here. I think we just got lucky in finding that light seed, because finding the gold key at Mantis Ant and then going to Gold Tower for 1 free check honestly wasn't that stellar of a play, but we got lucky and found a seed there. Getting slided. Yeah. So now I'm really curious if there was a seed here. Because if there was a seed here, I don't think it matters then what play you do. Whether you do Witch's Castle or whether you go to Gold Isle. Let me swap to this. I'm just trying to see what some of the other runners might have done. Because like I said earlier, my plan after Dwarf Village was to just peek the chest at Gold Tower because we had the key. It was a free check, so why not? And then if there was nothing there, I would have just, left. Shade on the Mana Seed pad. Okay, that doesn't really help us out any. Shade on a pad, Luna on a pad, Dark Seed on a pad. And one more. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what was here, if anything. If there was nothing here, then going Gold Isle was probably the play. because then you find that light seed, and then you're really incentivized to just go ahead and complete Light Palace because of the light seed being there. All right, money. Undini's here. Okay. Does that do anything? Does that do anything though? Let's check Moon Palace, because we know Undini is required there, and you get the Moon Seed for free. So let's check this. Let's check this real quick. See what was here. Because if there is something here, then Witch's Castle might be worth doing. Otherwise, it's not worth it. We don't know how much damage locked items does here to this seed. All right, what's here? Salamander. Wow. Okay, so Witch's Castle might have been worth it then. Okay. That's interesting. So if someone were to go fully clear early game, Ruins, Mantis Ant, Undini's Cave, Dwarf Village, Earth Palace, Witch's Castle, they come out with Fire Seed, Earth Seed, Dark Seed. Where am I going? Oh, right, Water Palace. So they come out with at least 3 seeds: Earth Seed, Fire Seed, Dark Seed, Moon Seed on Mirror, that's free. Oh, let's not use that. What if someone grabs the Water Seed from the Moon Palace and then turns it in? With Thunderbolt here. Oh wow, he didn't die. I think one more kills him. Yeah. So Witch's Castle led to Undini, which leads to the Water Seed if you turn in the Moon Seed. And we know the Moon Seed was free. So what's at the Water Seed pedestal then? Dryad and Shade. Okay, so fully clearing early game gets you 5 seeds. Yeah, fully clearing early game gets you 5 seeds. And if you count the Moon Seed as free, but so basically you have like 2 routes from what I see here. We have 2 routes here. Moon Seed is obviously in both routes because it's free. I mean, everyone's going to find that. You get hints for the Earth Seed and the Fire Seed. Earth Seed being at Treasury. Fire Seed being at Potos, or in the Potos area. So that should incentivize the player to check early game right then and there. I don't see a reason why you check anything else, because we know there's 2 seeds there. You might as well go get them. So Pandora most likely first because it's 7 checks. We find the whip there, which is required. We also find the Earth Seed there. We find a couple of orbs, and we find, what else was there? I believe Sylphid was there too. Okay, so you get magic there too. So Sylphid's there. And then you go from Pandora. Then you're incentivized to look for the Fire Seed because you got a hint saying that the Fire Seed is in the Potos area. So that should send the player to Mantis Ant or Undini's Cave, either one. It's basically a 50-50 check. Mantis Ant gives you the gold key, which if someone immediately checks that, okay, so if the player goes, all right, I find the gold key, let's check Light Palace, let's check that first chest and see what's in there. And if there's nothing there, then we just leave or reset or something. The Light Seed was there, so that would be seed number 4. So then one may think, okay, Light Seed is here, so why not just full clear Light Palace right here? Because I'm already here. And then you find the Wind Seed, that's 5. That'll be your 5 seeds if you take that route. But the problem with this route is it veers you away from the axe. And we need the axe to get through Pure Land. So now we have to run all over the world to find the axe. I think that's what happened with some runners. I think that's what happened because taking that gold key route, while it gets you 5 seeds, yeah, but it veers you away from the axe unless the runner goes back to early game and full clears it, and then they find it. So that's route number 1. Route number 2 is after getting the Moon Seed, you go to Pandora, get your Earth Seed, get your Whip, get Sylphid. You go to Mantis Ant, you get your gold key, but you continue to check early game. We fade gold key. We go check Undini's Cave because we know the Fire Seed's in Potos. So we check that. You get Gnome, you get the Fire Seed. That'll be 3. Now, this also assumes that they checked the Earth Palace orb during their freebies route, which I can definitely see that because I do it myself. I didn't do it this run, but I usually do it myself. So if someone checks the Earth Palace orb and sees that it's Gnome, and then once they get that Fire Seed, they get Gnome right along with it. They get the Whip from the Pandora Ruins. They get the Earth Seed from Ruins as well, or from the Treasury rather, for 3 seeds. Why not make a save split and check Earth Palace? Because you have the tools to do. You have the tools to do it. You have Gnome, you have the Whip, and you have the Earth Seed. Why not just make a save split and just do it? If there's nothing there, so be it. You reset. You go check other stuff. But unfortunately, it was required because the axe was there. That's the big prize there, the axe, and then the Dark Seed. So that'll be 4. Now, this is the tricky part because once someone checks Earth Palace, grabs that 4th seed, now they have to find the 5th seed. So you can continue to fully clear early game and check Witcher's Castle, which is actually not a bad play here, now that we know what was there. If someone does that, they find Undini. They find, what, 1,400 bucks? And then they say, oh, okay, we can turn in the Moon Seed, assuming that the player checks the orb in Moon Palace. Now, this is where having information is powerful, because if someone doesn't know that Undini is required for Moon Palace and can turn in the Moon Seed, then they're going to go to other places. But you have the Moon Seed, so why not just check to see what the orb there is? And if you do that after Witcher's Castle, you'll have Undini, and then you find, what was that, the Water Seed there, I think? Yeah, and then that'll be your 5th seed. Or after getting the Dark Seed and the Axe. You go to Gold Isle because you have the key to check that free chest, because why not? And you find that Light Seed. Yeah, so I mean, this can be ran in several ways, but normally going to Gold Isle after finding the gold key would be a fantastic play, but the fact remains that it veers you away from the axe, and you can spend a long time trying to find it because you may check other places. You're not incentivized to check the Earth Palace. You're not incentivized to go back to early game to find the axe there. I mean, it is what it is. You know, Randomizer does this kind of stuff, so I don't know. I mean, we could have went Witch's Castle after Dwarf Village, but I decided to follow the gold key because my thought process was, all right, let's just check this chest because I have the key, the gold key, I have it. So why not just check this? If it's nothing, then we just leave and go somewhere else. Or we leave and go back to Witch's Castle. That's pretty much what I was thinking. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything to be there, but again, it's Rando, so Rando's gonna Rando, that's what everybody says. It is what it is, you know. We just got lucky and found that Light Seed. But yeah, I can definitely see how some of the runners got their times, because they may have spent a long time trying to find the axe. And honestly, I can't blame them, but when a seed gives you the tools for certain areas, and Earth Palace is one of those areas, then it's usually, not all the time, but it's usually a good idea just to make a save split, just to check it, because you never know. It may be a dead check. If it's a dead check, then fine, you reset, you go somewhere else. But if it's something that's required, which was the case here, then you would have made a good play. So I don't know. Earth Palace is one of those checks that it's a low priority check, sure, but like I said, when a seed gives you the tools for Earth Palace, in this case the whip, gnome, and the Earth Seed, why not just make a save split and check it? I mean, worst case scenario, there's nothing there but a bunch of orbs or money or something, and then you waste, what, 3 or 4 minutes? I mean, sometimes you just have to make the check and see what's behind it. Sometimes you just have to save split and see what's there. That's what I did with the gold tower, where I didn't save, but we really didn't have to save there because it was a very, very fast check. All it is just flying there, landing, walking up 2 screens, and then opening the chest. There's no need to save that. If I were going to fight the bosses, if I were going to turn to the Light Seed, then yeah, I would have saved. But when you're doing a free check like the Light Palace chest, there's really no need to save because it doesn't waste that much time. And if there's, like I said, if there was nothing there, then I would have gone to Witch's Castle. So either way, I think either route is fine. It's just that the gold tower route veers you away from the axe, where Witch's Castle route gets you your 5th seed, but that's only if you check Moon Palace Orb. Even then, you can just go to Gold Tower after that. So either way, but the main thing is Earth Palace, what's required, and you have the tools to do it. So when a seed gives you tools, and I know I said this before, but when a seed gives you the tools to make a check, to make a certain check, why not just check it? Because you never know what you're going to find. All right, anywho, 44:31 is our time. Yeah, this was an interesting seed, honestly. I mean, me see something real quick. I don't know. I mean, I know other runners, they do their seeds their way. They play the way they play. Um, and that's fine. Not saying anything about that, but uh, I just feel that, and I'm someone who's played several other randomizers like this. I mean, some of y'all may know me from Free Enterprise. I used to play that for like what 2-3 years. Then I stopped playing that. Some of y'all may know me from the Chrono Trigger Just a Time Randomizer, which I played for a couple of years, and then I kind of haven't stopped playing it, but I'm kind of on hiatus on that. But I haven't quit it cold turkey. Free Enterprise, I quit cold turkey, but Just a Time, I haven't quit cold turkey. I'm just taking a very long sabbatical. But usually I am an aggressive runner. Usually, sometimes I can't be an aggressive runner because of how the seed is playing out. But and I was known for this, and especially in Free Enterprise, I was known for making oddball checks, which no other runner would make, and then I would find something that would lead me to go mode, and then I end up getting first place. So I've always been known for doing things like that, especially in Free Enterprise, because sometimes I get a mindset in where, okay, what if I just make this check? Sometimes I just want to see what's there. I don't care if it's the wrong play or the right play. Like, most runners would go to point A, where I would go to like point B and check, an area that has only one check versus an area that has like 3 checks. Sometimes I'll do that. And I've been known to do that in this randomizer too. Sometimes I'll just go to somewhere where, okay, there's only one check here. Let's gamble. Let's see. Because you never know. If we strike out, so be it. It is what it is. If we hit, so be it. We're in good shape. But yeah, there was several things you could do on this seed, several routes you can take as far as getting the seeds, but ultimately there's really only one route. There's only one main route, and that includes Earth Palace. So yeah, I know that was a bit long-winded ending, I know, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I will see you guys next time. This video rather, is gonna go up on Friday. I'm still putting up Yoshi videos. Honestly, I am actually almost done with that game. I just have to, edit and render videos and whatnot. But again, there's going to be one video per day for Yoshi's Island. I am almost done with that game. I still have to figure out something for the last 2, or the last extra and secret level, which don't get me started on that. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, the Yoshi videos are going to be one per day. As far as another Eden videos, they'll come up when, Wifis decides to actually give us some good content. Last update was pretty crappy, so I'm not putting up any videos until they actually come up with something meaningful, and they put up, more super bosses or Astro Archives or whatever. But and of course, we'll still be doing Mana Rando every week. So yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.